is it that businesses so often miss the point when it comes to choosing products to put on their shelves? I know that it's not so important with small businesses because they can carry smaller stock and cater to a smaller customer base. But I find this with larger businesses as well. Shouldn't they at least try to sell things that people might actually want to buy? Hi, my name is Lawrence. I run Aktileda. It's a marketing business that's been around for more than a decade now, and it's built on a lifetime of business experience. So let's talk about marketable products. I've seen this so often, and let me run through an all too common scenario. The owner of a small business gets an idea into his head about pink widgets in a bottle. People will love it, he says. So off he goes, finds a way to make them, and produces a few dozen. He clears a spot on his shelf and displays his wonderful new pink widgets in bottles. And there they stand for months and months, gathering dust. Now the business owner sees that his widget isn't selling, and he really needs to get his investment back. So he declares, "I have the solution. If it was blue and not pink, then people will love it." So he spends even more money to produce a few dozen blue widgets in bottles, which sell with an equal lack of success. Now he's convinced that his product is wonderful, and with the right support, he knows it'll succeed, so he's forced into getting professional marketing. Doesn't like the idea much, but a tough, successful businessman does what needs to be done, right? Doesn't realise at the time, of course, but this route will be really good for his ego. When the widgets still sit unsold on his shelf, despite the best efforts of his agency, your man can, in all good conscience, blame the failure on the marketing agency for providing bad and ineffective marketing. Apparently, it's always worth blaming the marketing agency if your business fails. There are many variations on this theme, of course, in both small and surprisingly large businesses. And there are actually three issues in the scenario I've just described. The most important is the most obvious, yet it's the one most often ignored. Was the product marketable? If the businessman had not relied on his instinct, had he done his homework and a bit of research, then answered the questions honestly, he could have saved himself a lot of effort, time, money, and embarrassment. So, what is a marketable product? It's very simple. A marketable product is something that lots of people either want or need, and the important word here is lots. Just because the businessman thinks a pink widget in a bottle is a great idea, he must be sure that a lot of people agree with him before he starts. So, how many widgets does he need to sell to show a reasonable profit? The more he needs to sell, the more marketable the widget needs to be. Now, don't confuse want and need. Ladies want diamonds, but they don't really need them. You don't need a diamond to cure a headache. You need medication, but you still want diamonds, and you can still sell diamonds. The second issue is that the businessman didn't call in the marketer when he got the idea. An experienced marketer who's been down this road a few times often has a very much better idea of what constitutes a marketable product. Plus the fact that this is the guy who will have to do the marketing whether the concept is viable or not. So it's in his own interest to give good advice. Third, this is the most difficult issue. It's admitting when you're wrong. Even with good research, good advice and good marketing, what seems like a great concept can still bomb. Humans are amazingly unpredictable. But at the end of the day, if you've given your pink widgets in the bottle the best retail opportunities, and you find that the concept isn't working, then stop. And stop before you start making the blue ones. Think about this eventuality before you start. Think about how much capital you can afford to lose if your concept fails. Be a Boy Scout. Be prepared. Don't wreck your life with a mistake. Good businessmen are not gamblers. Gambling is for gamblers. Business is for businessmen. Calculate your risk before you start and keep the risk well within affordable limits. Failure in one avenue should leave room for success in another.